Jay Marantatu. Hello and welcome to Celtic Roots Radio, coming to you today from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Celtic, folk, folk rock, Appalachian, bluegrass, Scottish, Irish, Breton, Cajun. If it's Celtic or roots music you like, you'll find it here on Celtic Roots Radio.
Another jailhead dancing on the stage, mouth wide open with nothing to say. It's getting old quick, I think I'll go run and hide. I need something real, give me Hank or Charlie Pride. Quality versus quantity, platinum versus gold. But who's number one at the movies? How many tickets sold? I'm gonna lay it to you straight, I ain't selling out. No, I ain't selling out. We'll commercialize this and commercialize that. Maybe sell a soda, maybe sell a hat. Don't do it for the money, do it cause it feels good. Sing it from the heart with the wire and wood. Quality versus quantity, platinum versus gold. Who's number one at the movies? How many tickets sold? I'm gonna lay it to you straight, I ain't selling out. No, I ain't selling out. Take me back to the day when it was real, when a simple song could change the way you feel. Living by his hopes, that little thing we call hope, sure to bring tears to your eyes, yeah. Take me back down to the coast of California. That's where I got my start, that's where I was born. I'm taking my guitar and my old suitcase, wander for a while, do it at my own pace. Quality versus quantity, platinum versus gold. Who's number one at the movies? How many tickets sold? I'm gonna lay it to you straight, I ain't selling out. No, I ain't selling out.
Hey, how's it going? Here we are again with another Celtic Roots Radio show. More new music and more of the crack from me, Raymond McCullough. Well, there's one thing about Ireland, you don't get the same weather for very long. The ice and snow have all disappeared, but the wind today would blow the head clean off you. We started the show off with a track from Jason Bennett in Colorado, USA, and a great song called Ain't Selling Out. Our show today is sponsored again by Belfast Girls, an Irish novel about three girls growing up in post-Troubles Belfast, and it's now available on Amazon.com and on Kindle and other electronic devices. It's also available on a new podcast, which you'll find on iTunes. For more information on the author, Jerry McCullough, and Belfast Girls, check out Jerry with a Y, McCullough.com, or go to Jerry's fan page on Facebook for regular updates. By the way, Jerry is also on our Celtic Roots Cafe network, and you can find information about Belfast Girls there. Another very good reason for joining our cafe site. You will also find at least 25 great music videos, songs, photos, information about some of our artists, and a blog. It's all at celticrootsradio.ning.com. And we've been getting more of your emails and Facebook messages. Kellen Arrington, who I think is in the USA, emailed, Raymond Akaran, I always enjoy the programme. I love hearing from the new performers. I would love to find more information from some of the tracks you play, so I can find some of these musicians. Do you publish a playlist? I appreciate what you do. God bless. It's Misha, that means yours, Kellen. Yes, Kellen, we do publish a playlist, and it's just been updated with all of our artists and tracks listed. In fact, we've just updated our whole website. You'll find the playlist right beside where it says radio. That's on CelticRootsRadio.com. We've had another 5-star review on iTunes USA entitled Best Celtic Podcast. Retro Daddio says, "This is a great podcast for Celtic music lovers. The music choices are well thought out, and Raymond McCullough is a wonderful host to listen to. The main drawback is that Raymond's commentary is so much lower in volume than the music that I'm constantly fussing with the volume to hear him. Other than being only about a half hour per month, I can't think of a better way to get a Celtic fix in a podcast." You started off great there, Retro. Actually, I think the volume thing was a few shows back, so hopefully that's sorted now. Also, we plan to get a clot or more shows out over the next winter months. We wouldn't want you suffering any withdrawal symptoms now. And finally, Jimmy Doyle from Pennsylvania, USA, messaged us via our Facebook group. He says, "Thank you, your podcast, it's brilliant. God bless you, keep up the good work." That's great, Jimmy, and thanks yourself. Here's something new. We're about to launch our new Celtic Roots promo CD, which will not be for sale. It will be sent out free to radio presenters all around the world who like the kind of music you're hearing on here. So if you know of a great show on a particular station, send me the details, especially their email address, so I can contact the host of the show. Send that info to Raymond@CelticRootsRadio.com. Keep in touch through email or Facebook message, and also now on Twitter, @CelticRoots with an underscore. Tweet. And please don't forget to review the show for us on your local iTunes store. You'll find our other podcasts on iTunes too, just by searching under my name. We're listening now to two tunes, Heart Dance and Home by Bearna, from the Irish Wolfhounds in North Carolina, USA.
There lived a lass, and every Sunday after Mass she'd go home and take a glass before going home by Bearna. We won't go home along the road, where you might hock the road. We won't go home along the road, we'll go home by Bearna. We won't go home across the fields, the big thorns could stick our heels. We won't go home across the fields, we'll go home by Bearna. We won't go home across the bog, fear we might meet Garney's dog. We won't go home across the bog, we'll go home by Bearna. We won't go down the Green Boreen, the night is bright, we might be seen. We won't go down the Green Boreen, we'll go home by Bearna. We won't go home across the glen, for fear your blood might rise again. We won't go home across the glen, we'll go home by Bearna. Scarlet Glen there lived a lass, and every Sunday after Mass she'd won't go home and take a glass before going home by Bearna. We won't go home along the road for fear that you might act the road. Won't go home along the road, we'll go home by Bearna.
There's no heather on the hills, no piper standing still, playing a haunting melody, and no highland cattle roam through the town that I call home. And old Nessie never showed her face to me. Oh, but the fields are green like you've never seen, and they lie between the mountains and the sea. And when I look into the eyes of the people passing by, then I know this place is always home to me. I see winds that moan, well, they'll chill you to the bone. But if you've fallen in the thistles, not so pretty anymore. There's no river running fast, there's no whiskey in my glass, and there's no one knocking on my castle door. Oh, but the fields are green like you've never seen, and they lie between the mountains and the sea. And when I look into the eyes of the people passing by, then I know this place is always home to me. But the fields are green like you've never seen, and they lie between the mountains and the sea. And when I look into the eyes of the people passing by, then I know this place is always home to me. When I look into the eyes of the people passing by, then I know this place is always home to me.
That was a beautiful song from Mel Farrimond from Nova Scotia, Canada, and No Heather on the Hills. I told you before that I have a few Scottish ancestors, and I've also mentioned that quite a few people in County Antrim and parts of County Down have a distinct Scots accent. In fact, did you know that the word Scot, from which we get Scotland of course, comes from the Latin word Scotti, which the Romans used to describe people from Ireland? The original Scots were actually Irishmen. In the early 7th century, there was an area of western Scotland and most of County Antrim, which was known as the Kingdom of Dalriata, or Dalriata. People travelled back and forward by boat between the two parts of Dalriata, which is probably why we can hear a lot of Scots in the County Antrim accent. Now, if you come to visit County Antrim, the place you can't afford to miss is a wee spot on the north coast of Antrim, near the town of Ballycastle. It's called the Giant's Causeway. You've got to climb down below the cliff and you come to what is known as a granite pavement. Tens of thousands of interlocking hexagonal granite rocks. They start up the cliff behind, looking like huge organ pipes, the Giant's organ. Further down, they become a causeway that eventually disappears into the sea, reappearing on the other side at Fingall's Cave in Scotland. Hundreds of thousands of people come every year to visit this place, and of course to absorb the legends about the giant. Well, two giants actually. On the Irish side was a boy called Finn McCullough, who was supposed to have built the causeway, so he could walk over to Scotland without wetting his feet. Apparently he fell out with the Scottish giant and dug out a big piece of sod to throw at him. He missed, and the sod fell into the sea and became the Isle of Man, while the place he dug it out of filled up with water and became Loch Ness, the largest loch in the British Isles. Now, as the man said, if you believe that, you believe anything. We're listening to Needfire from Texas, USA, and a rocky tune called Jenny Dang.
Streets are lined with snow on these cold winter days, but I don't need your love to keep me warm. The breeze no longer blows, and I'm told it's a phase until I see it up. So through the storm, well, only time can heal the wounds of love. But I won't wait to move on. And you think that I'm hanging on to you, but I can't wait to move on. The days just come and go out in a cold, foggy haze, but I don't want your love to keep me warm. I gaze at those who glow, hope it holds and it stays. They walk with glove in glove while love is born. Well, only time can heal the wounds of love, but I won't wait to move on. And you think that I'm hanging on to you, but I can't wait to move arms of love, but I want a way to move on. And you think that I'm hanging on to you, but I can't wait to move on.
That slowed the mood right down, didn't it? Lovely bit of blues there. Winter Days from Meghan Halle in New York, USA. Ben McCullough was actually the central figure of a series of legendary tales. He may have been a very big man, but he certainly didn't create the Giant's Causeway, Loch Ness, or the Isle of Man. He was a great warrior and the leader of a band of warriors and heroes who defended Ireland and the High King against invaders, pirates, and sometimes other local kings. His warriors were known as the Fianna, and the tales about them are known as the Finian Cycle. The stories of Finn, which means fair or white-haired, so he may have been either blonde or prematurely white, involve a lot of magic. His wife had been turned into a deer and only took human form when on Finn's land. He himself had magical knowledge through once burning his thumb on the salmon of knowledge and then sucking it. So when he needed that special knowledge, he would suck his thumb and it would come to him. When he got old, though, he became a bit bitter. The High King had promised Finn his beautiful daughter Grania as his wife, but of course, instead, she fell in love with a young warrior called Dermot, and the two ran away together, pursued by Finn. Eventually, Finn agrees to let them alone, but years later, when Dermot is injured during a boar hunt, and Finn has the power to heal him with water from his hands, he lets the water fall through his fingers. Though his grandson changes his mind, and Finn brings more water, Dermot is already dead.
Black, black, black is the color of my true love's hair. His lips are something wondrous fair, and the handsomest face and the strongest hands My love is way beyond compare. He with the wondrous hair.
And we were listening there to the Celtaire String Band from Texas, USA, another version of the tune Whiskey Before Breakfast. And then we had Judith Weikle from Wyoming, USA, and the well-known Black is the Colour. We're going to finish now with a traditional Scottish song from David Nigel Lloyd, who's in California, USA. Will you know come back again? I sincerely hope you will. Slan.
Blow the blackbirds note and long, lilting wildly up the glen. Aye, to me he sings one a song. Will you no come back again? Whenever I hear that blackbird sing, unto the evening sinking down, a thrush that makes the woods to ring, to me there is no other sound. Will you no come back again? Will you no come back again? Better loved he cannot be. Will you no come back again? Many's the gallant soldier fought, many's the valiant chief did fall, and death itself was dearly bought, all for Scotland's king and lord. Will you no come back again? Will you no come back again? Better loved he cannot be. Will you no come back again? Bonnie Charlie's now safely over the friendly main. Many's the heart will break in twa, for he will no come back again. Will you no come back again? Will you no come back again? Better loved he cannot be. Oh, will you no come back again?
Well, that's all we have time for on this show. Remember, you can find out more information about the artists and songs played on the show on our website at CelticRootsRadio.com. And if you're an independent artist and you'd like to hear your music played on this show, again, you'll find details on our website. That's CelticRootsRadio.com. Tune in again next week to Celtic Roots Radio. I'm Raymond McCullough, coming to you from Ireland. Slán agus Banna Dia.